Our minds and our decision making can easily be misled by others and sometimes even by ourselves. Let me ask you a couple questions to show how this works. If I were to ask you this question, is the price of the average German car above or below $100,000? Consider what you're thinking about right now. What car? The average price for a German car. Now let me ask you a different question. Is the price of the average German car more or less than $20,000? Consider what cars you're thinking of right now. And what do you think the actual average price of a German car is? There's been research asking these kinds of questions. And the tricky part of this is when I ask, is the average above or below $100,000 for a car, you tend to think of Audis and Mercedes and high-end expensive cars. If I ask the average price of a German car above or below $20,000, then you tend to think of Opel and Volkswagen and lower-end cars. By asking that number first, I can skew the representative group that you're considering, and it will change your estimate of what average price of a car is. There's a series of studies that have been done in academia and now spread through other places by having people go into auctions. But before they go into the auction, they have to write down the last two numbers of their Social Security number. And then they bid on things like a bottle of wine or a dinner or something like that. And what has been found is that almost always the people who wrote down numbers that were above 5, the last two numbers of my Social Security number are 6-9, they bid higher than those people who wrote down that their Social Security numbers were something like 2-3. Just writing down those numbers, which have nothing to do with the object you're bidding on, tended to make our minds go low or go high.
Wow!
This has been proven over and over and over, and you can see marketers doing this all the time. They mark something high and then they tell you you're getting it at a lower price. And that is they anchor your thinking at the higher price and then you think you're getting a good deal. One of the best examples, and I fell for this, is by one of my favorite magazines, which is The Economist. If you look at their subscriptions offering, they offer the digital-only version for $59. They offer just the print version for $125 per year. Or they offer the digital and the print version for $125. What they discovered was this. If they offered, as I described it, $59 for just the digital, $125 for the digital and print, or just for the print, most people chose the digital and print. If they didn't have the third choice, that is only a digital version at $59 and a print version at $125, most people chose the $59 version. So you can see the effect of just adding that other choice affects your thinking by anchoring you at a higher number. I chose the digital and the print version. I fell for the anchoring. Now that we understand the anchoring effect, what's it mean in our lives? Well, if we think other people are trying to anchor our thinking in a particular direction, there's a number of things we can do. Number one, be aware that that anchoring is happening. Are they introducing numbers that are somehow establishing a price range or a number range in our minds? The second one is before you go into a negotiation or a buying situation, set your own anchor. I'm going to pay this, $35 or less for this item. Then when you go in and you see other numbers, you're less affected because you've already established your own anchor in your mind. The last one is very obvious, and that is you comparative shop, which is so easy now with the internet. You can compare the prices of different things. So in terms of buying, you want to be able to do one of these three things. Now, in terms of selling, you can use this to your advantage. You can price your products much the ways that the Economist magazine did, and you'll get people like me to buy. So think about how you can establish an assumption in your client or customer's mind of what something is worth. Our competitors charge this. We're charging this. You make that comparison. So it's always compared to what? And the compared to what is the anchor that you can establish in other people's minds, just like they try to establish it in your mind. I hope this helps you make better decisions.
Wait, before you leave, you might like to check this other video right here.